Next decorative section is going to be here. Now if you recall, I counted the holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 holes. Now the pattern shows 18, but that's the way this one worked out, was 17. So now I'm going to count up from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That right there is the top of my pocket. Okay? Now I'm going to actually start on the hole underneath it so that the threading will look uniform all the way through. So I don't forget where that is. It's really easy to forget. Really easy. I'm going to put a clip on it so I know where the end of that is. Okay, so I know I'm going to have to start the hole or the stitching right here. I'm going to put a little clamp right there that tells me where to start it. Right there. So I know I'm going to be starting from there. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, count the holes from here. There's the 17th hole. I'm going to be starting there. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to clamp the hole that I'm going to be starting from. Like so. So that hole to that hole. I'm going to run all along the edge. This one I'm going to do time lapse. There's no reason to sit here and have you watch me redo all this, basically stitch this whole thing. See, I can't even get this thread off of there with it like that when I'm trying to get it off. You have to cut it and then it'll come right off. So this portion of the video I'm going to time lapse so that you don't have to sit here and watch me for 20 minutes try to stitch the optional decorative section of this. Since it's going to be time lapse, there's no point in me speaking either. Again, this is going to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to factor about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and trying to gauge how much thread to use. I'm guessing about, I'm doing it by sections. 1, 2, 3 sections, about 3 times the length. And I have to add a little extra for the needles. So that's how much threading I'm going to use for the edge. Like so. Okay? So my threading now is about, if I had to wager a guess, it's about 1 yard or 1 meter long. I'll do what I've done before. I've already marked my holes where I need to stitch to and from. I prefer to stitch to this side because you can actually see the holes a little better. Problem with black, as I said before, is it's challenging. And I'm actually stitching into the hole that I'm going to be stitching into when I do the flap over. Let me put this in view of the camera so you can actually see. This hole is going to be used for the flap as well. That way it looks, the thread looks seamless. Yeah. Since I'm not really going to, since it's going to be hidden out of view, I'm not going to worry about. Now here's the other thing that you should know. If there is something that your thread can snag on, it will. Over and over and over again. I guarantee you of that. So this little clamp, one of the reasons why I like these clamps, because I can move the lever down and keep it out of the way. The other thing is, try to keep your other needle from getting snagged into the one you're working on. The more threading you have to work with, here, there it goes. I literally snagged the needle. It's going to be one of these days already, I can tell. You don't want to end up looping. Dang it, I just looped through it again. There we go. This time, let's get it right. Okay. And there we go, one completed loop, and it only took 20 minutes. Jeez. Get a nice chair to sit on. Absolutely essential. A comfortable chair so that your back's not killing you by the time you're done doing this. Or a stitching booth. I have one, but it's pointless to stitch something like this with a stitching station. Oh, I don't know what you'd call it, a saddle? I know some have called it saddles. Some of these guys are really good at stitching. Watching them work is just amazing. I gotta hand it to all these people that are posting videos on leather. A lot of them are truly exceptional. And I'm deeply grateful for all the people posting leatherworking videos so that I could learn how to do it myself. And I might argue I haven't learned nearly as much as I should. I'm still sitting there trying to keep the needles and the thread from getting interwoven and screwed up. Almost split the thread there. It's easy to do. Now I'm using a different color than the leather because it's a nice touch, I think, to have the thread and the leather sort of contrast each other. I mean, if you're going to go through all the effort of stitching by hand, you kind of want people to know it. I just changed up my pattern. I stitch from behind first. And that's something you got to be careful on. Sometimes when you change up your pattern for doing something, you screw it up. Like you stitch into the wrong hole, or you split the thread, or you do something else. So I'm going to stop talking now and just go into sort of a Zen stitching mode. Gotta love time-lapse video. If I were that fast, I'd be making a living at it. Or making money as a pickpocket or something. can snag something, you will. It's inevitable. Murphy's Law dictates it. Oh, I meant to finish my thought earlier on that lady that comes over to that guy, the other guy that does leather work here in town. She got extremely upset and everything. I realized, you know, looking at some of his work, that there's different levels of talent. And there's people that are really good at doing the design. There's people that are really good at just construction. The experts I find play to their strengths. The people that can make a bag in a day, make a bag in a day. For the people that are really good at doing design, you see that they usually focus on the smaller items, so they can concentrate a lot more of their time on the design. And I've come to a conclusion that some of the people who are doing the design work, that's work that they have perfected over time. So they make it look so easy when they're using an airbrush technique along the edge to give a nice shaded effect. And you're looking at it going to, who's got an sometimes I just cannot get a word coming to my mind. Who has that kind of equipment lying around? I guess some people would say, hey, I've got a vacuum sealer, I've got a heat press, and all this other stuff, I've got a color laser printer. I guess kind of build up stuff over time is what I'm getting at. And you find what you like and you play to your strengths.